but definitely a team to look out for. So complexity certainly in a tough bracket. Optic, on the other hand, they're in a group with Farico All-Stars. That's a team for me to watch. European team from out from the UK. So I believe the All-Stars are going to be a solid squad, and you have to watch out for them as well.
Yeah, there's a good chance one of the Farico team organizations might find themselves in the championship on Sunday, because all three of those teams are stacked. You've got Dragons, All-Stars, and Impact, and just talented squads there. Also, you know, we've got Quantic and Curse, North American teams. They qualified through league play, and league matches was a grind. You know, some of these guys, you know, they had to play a lot of hours to kind of just stay at the top of their tier in the league matches, and they're here to play at a high level. And you've got Rage. So Rage is another interesting team, right? This is a group of all FPS pro players, but none of them were Call of Duty pro players before. From Halo, Rainbow Six, and now they're playing Call of Duty. They're here competing at a high level. They're bringing their first-person shooter skills over to this. And I think a lot of people are going to be watching to see how well Rage can do. Yeah, and one more mention that, you know, we actually have a team that I consider a very dark horse squad, and it's our South African team, XTAZ. Yes. XTAZ is loaded with some talent. And I was talking to a couple players, and they actually said that they've watched some gameplay from the South African team. And that South African team, they said, looks great. They have great shots, and they know how to play the game. They know how to come in, have good strategy. They understand rotations and hardpoint. They understand cutoffs and CTF, and they have a solid search and destroy game. So we have to look out for the South African team, XTAZ. I think we actually have some video intros that we want to take a look at here shortly. We do. We actually, for our first matchup of the pool play that's going to be on the Alpha stream, is going to be Farico Impact going against Team Immunity. Let's check out the squad of Farico Impact.
Closer.
All right, we're back here. Hastro, I lied. We're not starting with Farico Impact. Mistakes were made. Naturally, it won't be my last one of the weekend, unfortunately. But we are going to kick it off with all the teams. We're going to talk about all the teams that are out here, at least playing in the pool play. We've got some teams to introduce here. The first one that is going to come out here and we're going to talk about is going to be Mind Freak Esports. And we've got a nice little video package that we're going to roll of them. And hopefully we got everything working out here. So let's bring out the gentlemen of Mind Freak Esports. And then I believe Mind Freak is going to be playing against Optic Gaming, and they're going to be in the first pod over there. They're going to be on one of the streams. I know there's a lot of Optic Gaming. There's the Mind Freak esports team. As you see Optic right behind it. You can't miss Scumpy with that red hair. And Optic Gaming taking the stage here as the light shows on them. Optic, one of the most recognized organizations in the world. A lot of pressure on these gentlemen. You've got Nadeshot, Merc, Big Timer, and Scumpy there on the stage. Let's see what these gentlemen are going to go take their first pod here and set up, get ready for pool play. That's going to be a great matchup that we see between those two teams. Hatcher, and again, like I just mentioned, I don't think the pressure's on Mind Freak. It's the pressure's on Optic. There is such high expectations for this organization. Optic won Call of Duty XP, the last $1 million tournament that there was. These guys need to perform. They didn't win MLG Dallas, so tons of Optic fans that are going to be out there making sure that they are rooting for these boys.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Optic Gaming, the brand that won the first Call of Duty XP $1 million tournament, we're going to be facing off right there against Mind Freak. So that's going to be a big-time matchup on that one single pot.
Yeah.
So they're all set. We're going to go ahead and queue up our next matchup here. And this is another big-time matchup.
Oh, I bet it is, right? I know why you think it's a big matchup.
Oh,
so go ahead, yeah.
But this is going to be the Team Envious versus Team Rising matchup. Now, Team Rising, hailing from Mexico. They're going to be taking their spot here on the stage shortly as we're just hovering over the Mind Freak Optic matchup pod right there.
Look at that.
You can catch them on a stream, the Alpha stream.
I like that lighting too. They really set the tone over there. And just so you guys know, for this attendance-wise, there's not this huge physical attendance. These guys are going to be able to focus up, play in this match. You've got like press and other people here, but it's not a huge, huge venue as far as a lot of audience watching it. So it's a very intimate environment. And kicking it off, we've got Team Rising up there.
So that's the Mexican team, Team Rising, qualifying out of Mexico. I had a chance to talk to these players here. Great guys. They speak great English too. So they are coming in facing off against Team Envy, and that's certainly a tough matchup for them. But you know what? They rose to the occasion just talking to me behind the scenes, and they said that, we're coming here to play. And there you see Team Envy, the boys in blue, and you have Stainville, JCap, Proofy, and Rambo. Definitely not strangers to the competitive Call of Duty world.
So the nice thing about Team Rising, there's tons of footage out there of Envious and the matches that they play. They were able to just understand, study these guys, play on a whole different level against Envious. So again, another team, these North American teams have found themselves in the spotlight in Call of Duty a lot more. So this is the opportunity for other countries, other teams to step up and knock out some of these North American powerhouses. Clearly, Envy, another storied team. They've been around forever, even all the way back to Call of Duty 4 where they were in the Nationals. So these guys have a lot of pressure on them. Rambo coming in from Canada, so that's a US and Canada squad mix there. And again, the boys in blue, everybody's going to have their eyes on them as well. But you got to give it to Team Rising, man. They've been able to watch these guys for a long time. I'm wondering how they're going to mix up the metagame and kind of play against them if they're going to throw Envy for some loops. So this is another great match that we've got going on one of the pods. You're not going to want to miss that. And again, I'll reiterate in case you missed it earlier, every single match here will be streamed at the Call of Duty Championship. All of the pods, all of the streams, all of the everything. So you will be able to watch each and every single match. We've got casters from all over the world here covering each individual stream. So if you see a particular match that you want to watch, feel free to go in and tune into that.
Absolutely. So Envy, one thing that they said about Team Rising, they said they're the best team in the world. And
wow.
I said, do you really think that? And they said, every team here is the best team in the world.
Yeah.
That's how we're going to go in and play this tournament.
Yes.
So they're not taking that team lightly. And there you see Team Rising looking ready to go, warming up the hands right there. They look calm and collected, so cannot pass them up. If you're going to tune into the Envy Team Rising match, that's going to be another one of those that's on one of the secondary streams.
Yeah, and then we've got another interesting matchup on the next pod here, and it's going to be Team Raven versus VVV Gaming.
Oh, that's Team Raven.
Team Raven's going to take their stance here on the stage. Look at them.
South Korea. And if you're in the house, you got to give these guys a hand. South Korea represented here at the Call of Duty Championships. This is the first time we've ever seen a South Korean team competing in Call of Duty esports on a big stage. This is going to be the first LAN tournament for South Korea outside of their country. We're very happy to have them here. I spoke to those guys for an hour last night. Very, very humble, very respectful guys, and they care so much for Call of Duty esports. And now you see VVV Gaming, another North American juggernaut squad.
Yes, and this team actually had to get, again, replacements at the last minute. They picked up Dito here as well. So VVV Gaming coming in with a different team than they qualified with at MLG Dallas. And on the other side, you have the South Korean team. South Korea has been incredibly progressive in esports. They've dominated in other games in the esports category. Can this team come over here and be dominant here at the World Championship? We've got a lot of eyes on the South Korean team to see if they can live up to the esports legacy that that country has set forth.
Well, without a doubt. And, you know, they're so new to Call of Duty esports, but it would be amazing for them to have a good showing here. And they certainly drew a very tough matchup in VVV. VVV, very experienced. They placed 3 at MLG Dallas, so they took 3rd place there, had a great showing, and they are certainly going to be a strong opponent for our South Korean team, Raven.
Just like Unite, again, very talented squad, but they've had to make last-minute adjustments to pick up new players, so they have not had a lot of time to practice as one cohesive unit, so they have that against them. That's something the team, Raven's going to be able to try to capitalize on in the VVV matchup.
And now that player that got replaced was Realize for VVV. Yeah. Now, Realize was under 18 years old, so under 17, so he wasn't able to come here and attend. They replaced him with Dito, Kenneth Dito, this is actually his last name.
Yes.
And Dito is actually a very, very strong young Call of Duty player and competitor, and I think that they're going to do very well with him here at the Call of Duty Championships.
That was a really good pickup for them, no doubt about it. And then you've got, moving on to our next match, we've got Xtaz versus the Unite squad. So this is
the matchup.
This is the one that you had. This is definitely the one you had a lot of eyes on here, for sure, no doubt about it. So as these guys are going to take the stage, and we've got the Xtaz team that's rolling over here to going to take their spot on the marks. And Astro, what do you think about these boys?
Yeah, this is the Xtaz squad all the way from South Africa. Another hand here for coming all the way over and making that trip. They had a 20-hour flight all the way over from the African continent. And there is Xtaz on your screen. Great, great squad right there. That's the team I'm talking about. I want to have my eyes on them and see what they can do here at the Call of Duty Championships. And now they're going to be facing off against Unite. Unite Fwiz is the squad that has Clayster, who qualified with his team. All of his teammates in Dallas placing 2nd. They were all under 17 years old, so they could not attend here at the Call of Duty Championships. But Clayster went out and picked up 3 of Europe's strongest, the UK's finest, 3 of the players from Team Prophecy. He's going to have Tommy. He's going to have Gunshi. He's going to have Swanee on his squad, or not Swanee, sorry, it's Shane on his squad. And they're going to be a solid team. Swanee's the other player that was there on Prophecy, and he's actually playing with the Italian side.
Yeah, no, this Unite team is gonna. You got to keep your eyes on these guys. Actually, this is the team. If I had to pick 2 teams I'm going to watch the most, it's going to be Unite and Farico Impact. Unite, I feel like, because the interesting mix of European and North American player, well, one, just in Clayster, this is such a crazy, I mean, you have some of the world's best players that have mixed together on this team last minute. The European guys have played together, but Clayster has no experience playing with this team yet. So they are either going to rise to the occasion with the talent that they have, or this communication or the collaboration of a new squad is just going to be their downfall. We'll have to see how this weekend unfolds for this team.
Yeah, Clayster made a really strong case for MVP at MLG Dallas.
Oh, absolutely.
His teammates did a lot of dirty work, but you know what? He looked very, very strong as the anchor player for Unite. Would have probably taken home the MLG Dallas MVP had they won that tournament. However, they did succumb to Farico Impact there. And looks like our next matchup here is going to actually feature those guys.
Yeah, perfect segue, because our next match, our Alpha Stream match, is going to be Immunity versus Farico Impact. The boys of Immunity are taking the stage right now. They've got their hands full going against Farico Impact. We told you earlier, Farico was able to win both MLG and EGL back-to-back. So these guys are going to have to play against, right now, one of the best teams in Call of Duty Black Ops 2. They've got a lot riding on this, and if they can come out, just stick it to Farico Impact, show them that they're ready to play here, this will be huge for them.
Yeah, so you have the boys there from Immunity. That's Naked, Buzzin, Renzi, and Fergs. They look very strong on the stage, taking the presence here at Call of Duty Championships. They look very, very confident and ready to roll. They're going to be taking on arguably the world's best team right now, and here they are. That's Farico Impact. You see, you have Parasite there, Miracles, you have Killa, And then, no doubt about it, Karma, the MVP out of MLG Dallas, looking very strong, making a case for one of the world's best players, if not the best.
Something about Karma, man, he's just always so chill, and he plays like this game is easy, like the competition is nothing compared to him, and then you've got Miracles on that team as well. He's only been to 2 events ever, MLG and EGL, and you know what, Hastro? He decided to win both of them. So now can he win Call of Duty Championship and make it 3 straight events? I don't know, but I'll tell you what, there's a reason why this is the main match of the evening or afternoon if you're here tuning in California.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it. That's why they have the main stage matchup here. We're going to be casting their match. So those are going to be all of your first round group play matchups here at Call of Duty Championships, as you see Furico and Immunity taking the stage now. And they're going to be getting ready on their stations. And Fwiz, you and I are going to be casting this matchup. Again, if you'd like to watch any of the matchups we just introduced, go on, head to callofduty.com/esports. You can tune in there to any of the streams. We have the Alpha stream with Fwiz and I. We have some great casters from around the world taking care of the other streams. So you have the Bravo stream, the Charlie stream, the Delta stream, and the Echo stream, streaming the matches from all of the pods we just introduced.
You've got Benson, Bryce, Tunny, Rel, Golden Boy, Chris Puckett's here. You're here, I'm here. We've got everybody. Corey Dunn's in the back, man. We've got the whole Call of Duty squad in full force here this weekend. And Justine is down on the floor. And I believe she's talking to one of the teams. Justine, what do you got going on down there? Okay, I lied.
Talking about it, but he said he didn't want me on his team. I don't get it.
Yeah, well, we got our first round of matches, and I got to ask you, out of all these teams, we got 5 North Americans, right? And then the rest of them coming from all different continents. Who do you got your money on in this first round?
Well, obviously, Furico won back-to-back tournaments here, so I'm probably, if I'm going to put any money, I'm going to put some money on Furico Impact, which is one of our first games coming up here.
I think Furico Impact is definitely the favorites, but Immunity, the best team in all of Australia. They beat Mind Freaks for that #1 spot. I think they're going to be a contender here, and if they can get Furico in that first game, they got a lot of momentum. But guys, we have 5 streams going on, and you gotta give love to the other teams out there. Make sure you check out VVV. I believe they're over on Bravo. You got Unite Gaming on Charlie. We got Envious and Optic as well. All of these teams are top 10 teams in the world, and I'm so excited to get this started.
Yeah, and I think the most exciting thing is everybody can watch every single stream. Every stream is being broadcasted and casted by some amazing podcasters, so this is pretty exciting.
All right, guys, that's it for us from the floor.